So, Evan has explained to us many different causes and effects that can happen because of stress, including yourself, family members, your mental health, your physical health, and so on and so forth. So, what do we do to cope? There's got to be a way. Well, there is. As you can see on slide 20, there are a number of different things to go about to start to cope. One is to talk to other people. When we talk to other people, sometimes it helps let things off our chest and our shoulders and just feel a little more relaxed. It's not so bottled up within you and you're holding it inside and you feel like you need a release. This can give you a release. Maybe that person might not want to give you advice, but just letting go of it and realizing it and talking about it may help you in order to find a way to calm down a little bit. The next is to confront and accept the issue. There's obviously a cause that has been created by stress, and you need to figure out what that is. Once you figure out what that is, you can then accept the issue. You have to do this. If you don't, you're in denial. And if you're in denial, you're not going to be able to figure a way in order to confront it and therefore release the stress in order to calm down and save yourself the problems of the effects. Also, you can check many resources. If you don't feel comfortable talking to people, there's tons of resources out there that can help you. There's different sites and books that can help you find ways to deal with your stress in a way that you feel more comfortable with. And this will therefore give you that confidence where you don't feel like you're talking to somebody else and maybe you're embarrassed, but you can do it on your own time and find out what works to you. Next is hope. Hope may not seem important to you when it comes to stress, but it is very important. Hope is important for the motivation that a goal can be achieved. This was said by John Marshall Reeve. So, what does that mean? Well, if you have hope and motivation, this allows you to focus on other things. It might take away the stress by realizing you can do it. You have the power and the fight to want to do it. You have the hope to know that you can do it. And that is all you really need in order to boost your self-esteem and therefore alleviate a little bit of the stress. Next, on slide 21, there's different therapy techniques. One is psychotherapy. Now I know when people hear psychotherapy, they say, whoa, I'm not psycho, I don't need to go there. But that's not what it is. Psychotherapy is basically talking to people and trying to figure out different ways in order to help yourself and come up with different solutions in order to fix a problem. You can also go get medical advice. With medical advice, you might need to see a therapist or a psychiatrist or find out what you need to do in order to get less stressed. If it's something serious, then it would be recommended most likely for you to go see a therapist and therefore kind of talk about your problems and talk to somebody that doesn't really know you. They don't know the situation, they're not going to judge you, and they can help you to come up with different solutions in order to make you feel better overall. That helps a lot of people because they don't know the person. So they're not feeling judged or like someone's going to say something or so on and so forth. They also might need to get prescription medications. And a lot of people hear prescription medications and think, no, I don't want to be stuck on that for the rest of my life or start to feel funny or act funny because I'm on some medications. Not for me. Well, sometimes it is really helpful. Some people have a lot of stress and they don't know how to deal with it in a way that's healthy. Sometimes prescription medications are able to help you in order to take away that stress and get rid of some of the consequences without really pushing it too far. You don't want to get too stressed because then other issues can occur. The next thing is critical thinking. Now, I know you're thinking, Critical thinking, what does that have to do with stress? Well, as Thomas Wall said, critical thinking is when we see a problem and we need to come up with a solution to fix it. So, when we know we have a problem, we can find where the problem is at, and therefore we can try to figure out what we need to do to fix it. Sometimes there are simple solutions that can be made that we just don't think about at the time. If we use critical thinking, then we might be able to come up with a better solution and not have to go through all these steps. It just helps overall. Now, in slide 22, there are different relaxation techniques. Now, some of them may seem silly to some and seem like they won't help. They might not help everybody, but they might help some, and that is the point. One of them is deep breathing. Now, I know some of you might say, well, we breathe all the time and I'm still stressed out. Yeah, we do breathe. We don't take the time to go. And in a really successful situation, that actually helps. It can calm you down, and you're just stopping to take a moment out of the situation to remember to totally breathe and try to relax. Now, another thing is meditation. That might not be okay for everybody, but it does help a lot of people. Meditation has been known to help tons of people to calm down in their everydays. Now, it doesn't have to be the whole legs crossed and kumbaya, but there are different meditation techniques in order to find a way to calm you down. This might help, at least to try out. Another thing is massage therapy. Now, when our bodies are more relaxed, our mind might be becoming more relaxed. So therefore, you are alleviating all possibilities. Now, again, this might not work for everyone, but if you have these things, try them. You have nothing to lose. Just try them and see if it helps at all. Now, in slide 23, we talk a little bit more about spiritual and social things. Now, if you're in a religion that you feel strongly about, church might help. Just the understanding and the talks might help you get through some stuff and figure some things out and realize you need to keep pushing forward and fighting ahead. If you're not really into different church things, then church really isn't your thing to do, or you can't make it to church, you can go to different religious activities. This will be around different people who are still religious, but you're doing other things, so it's not just focused simply on church and religion per se. You can also start a hobby. So when we start a hobby, we get something that we enjoy. It takes our mind off things. A lot of the times we are stressed because of what we are doing, and we feel like we're so focused on that we can't do anything else. But if we find a hobby, that kind of takes everything away. It puts us all in a totally different time frame, and we can focus on something other than our everyday stresses that we are going through. Another thing is to engage with like-minded individuals. Now, many people have a lot of people in their life that they like, but they're not really like them. If you're talking to somebody or with somebody that is like you, they will understand you better, and you will feel that they understand you better because they are more like you. If you're talking to somebody who's not really like you, they might not get what you're saying, and it might make you feel worse in the end. So, that will be helpful. Now, in slide 24, we talk about diet and exercise. These are a number of things. Eating is one of them. You need to start eating healthy. While a chocolate bar or junk food might sound good at the time to some people for stress, it's not always the best. When we eat junk food, we don't always feel good. When we're eating more healthy food, we feel better about ourselves, we're more energetic, our mind's more at ease, we just feel a lot better. You also need to cut out the negativity. Now, there are a lot of negative people in the world. you might even be one that is negative as well. If you're around negativity, that gets worse. If you are negative, that's worse for other people too, because those people might become negative because they're feeding off of you. You need to get an understanding from someone that's positive. Be positive all the time, as much as you can, because that will help you in order to feel better about stress and calm you down and make you feel like you can do it, because you can. Next, you can develop a workout routine. This can be done at home, or you can go to the gym. This will make you feel better. You will be exercising and getting things going. You can gain some extra muscles or lose some more pounds and just feel better about yourself. It gets all your mind going and you'll feel better in the end. Sometimes it's important to get a workout partner as well, because sometimes people don't have the motivation to go to the gym all the time. You don't want to work out. If you're stressed, you think, well, I can be doing this instead. Well, sometimes a workout partner can push you, and you can be there for each other in order to come up with a way that works for you guys to be motivated and get everything done, which will therefore help your stress. Plus, if you see results, that'll help you make you feel better too. So, you need to keep in mind, things can be difficult. That's just life. Things can seem like a total pain and that you won't get through it. But there are ways to overcome it, as you have learned in this. There's tons of different techniques that you can try in order to find a solution that will really work for you and can help you to feel better about yourself and your stress level, which will improve your overall life. Also, remember, you are strong, you can get through this, and you got this. So come on, we can do this. Just keep positive. Now, I'm going to move on to Sue, and she will be explaining a little bit more about our presentation, how we conducted it, and what all we did in order to make this successful as possible. Thank you very much.